Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Today is Wednesday, November the 28th, and the year is 2018. Let's talk trading. No! Short word, but it's really powerful, especially if you use it a lot. I was talking to some friends, old friends, new friends. I was watching a couple of different videos, and the videos they were talking, one of them was something about what it was either what rich people do that poor people don't, or what poor people do that rich people don't. And rich people, they say, use the word no more often than poor people. And then another video was talking about how the successful people, people who accomplish their goals, say no to good ideas and good opportunities. So when a great opportunity or great idea comes along, they have the time, the energy, and the resources to say yes to it. And I understand that. I really understand that now after 62 laps around the sun, because a lot of times there could be some good things out there, good deals, but they're not great deals. And they may not be exactly what you want. I can think about the time I bought three different bass amps in the space of about, I don't know, a month, let's say. I can't remember exactly, but I remember I bought a PV210 cabinet, and then I bought a GK head, but it was only about 200 watts. And then there was some other one I bought. I can't remember. I think it might have been a Harkey, um, 200 watts. But they were, they really weren't that powerful. You know, what I if I would have just said no to those good deals, because these were guys who were, they were musicians and they needed the money. So, I got the amps for something like 50 cents on the dollar, maybe even less. And they were good amps, but they just weren't that powerful. If I would have just waited, I could have probably bought maybe a 800 watt head or a 1,000 watt head for the same money. It would have been a great deal. But that's just one example. So what's that got to do with trading? Everything. Say no to those trades that are just good trades, and instead wait for those opportunities where you can make a great trade. In fact, right before I loaded up this profile, I had my normal trading profile up, and I had placed a short on the dollar yen, and it went against me for a few pips, and I was kind of kicking myself because I think I could have had 4 or 5 pips, but it was like, no, I'm gonna wait. So we'll see in a moment what happened. But I did have my money in risk management, so I really wasn't worried. My stop never got threatened. And you see, that gave me the confidence to say yes to the trade. We can say no. And also, I think I might have told you about all those different indicator ads and systems ads. I just say no to them all of them. In fact, there's just so many things out there that, but they're not great. They might be good, just there's something about the trend, some new trend thing from some guy, Scott somebody. And it's just, I look at it, he's got squiggly lines, and then you got to use the upper indicators and lower. It's just like, no, don't need all that. Anyway, okay, we can see Euro Yen has now crossed above the midpoint here. So if you took that midpoint crossover, you're up about 10, 11 pips at the moment on the monthly. On the weekly, you can see we have entered the upper wick zone. And you can see, funny thing, but the Euro Yen is the only gap that hasn't filled. Remember yesterday, I think there was 2. And the day before there, I think there was 4. So you've had chances. Now it's Wednesday. You got one. But I don't think this one's going to fill because we're 97 pips off that low. And I think we need about 99 or 100 pips to come back the other way. So I don't think this gap's going to fill. But it could. I just wouldn't be staking, much money on that one. On the daily, you see we broke through the high. We had an opportunity to pick up about 18 pips if you closed out at that high right above 129.01, but kind of an anemic 77 pips. But we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs with a range exceeding 100. And if you notice here, the euro yen was in the lower wick zone and shot out, but we'll get to that in a moment. On the daily chart, you can see we had a bias to the pivot point, a long bias. So either jumping in right at the open or taking the buy zone trade proved to be profitable. Here, profitable second time. There was a short trade. Here it came back through. If your stop loss was here, it wasn't threatened. If it was here, it was. Here you had a chance to either exit or scratch that trade. You can see here you had a buy zone. Once again, if you put your stop loss here, it would have been triggered. If it was down here, it wasn't threatened. And you can see here we went through the buy zone and an explosion this hour to the upside. And you can see it once again. It pushed the range up. Now you can look for a rat zone short. Larry live trade. Last chance to get on the bus, on the short bus, 128.82. And you can see here we took out that pivot. And we hit the monthly pivot once again. So you can see here how price likes to return to the pivots. And let's see, there's the monthly pivot. You see here, we hit the pivot back here, almost returned to the open, almost back to the pivot, and you can see the oscillation of price between basically the pivot and the open over these past few days here. And we're still have 2 missed pivots. Okay, simple on the price action chart. Price action simple. 2 ball at the top, red at the line. 1 ball at the bottom, green at the line. And you can see here we've got a 3 ball at the top. We're going to be looking red at the line, short next bar. You see that. Trading at the line. The horizontal lines here from the previous day, low, close, mid, open. Once again, just candle color at the line. Or we can do the wick zone, which here you can see in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, both sides, and then in and out once again. There's a trader following on Facebook, posting his charts just about every day, showing some really nice wick zone trades. Here's the holo setup. We'll probably get a new highest open because see here we're 30 pips away. So right now this is just being a wait state, and there's that huge zone there. Nice trigger here off of the inventory reduction bar. You had an H4 long trigger, an M15, and an H1. Nice triggers. We'll see if we're going to get a short trigger put in on this red candle, this red M15 here. You can see lots of buying at the moment. And once again, trading candle color, price direction at the line, simple trades, nothing difficult. And you can see here we've got some nice movement here. Right here we had the bid cross the valley of the ask, and you can see there's about a 7-8 pip movement since then. Right here there was a short for just a handful of pips using the Einstein lines. Now I mentioned that I had a nice trade here on the dollar yen. I went short at 91 and price went against me for a few pips. I can't remember if I went short. Was it this bar or was it this bar? Let's see, low 88, low, yeah, so it must have been this bar. So I went short at 91 and it went against me for a little bit, but then all of a sudden it paid off big time. So lucky trade, yeah, I'll give you that. And one of the things is you can see here using the dynamic wick zones where we are. See, you can see here we're in that lower wick zone from 26 bars away. That's where price is right now. You see it shot through it and it's come back. Now you see it's entered as price is moving. That's why it's called dynamic wick zones. It's showing you where price is in other wick zones. And you can see here, Larry live trade, another short on the euro. You can see all the selling that's happening. So, fellow traders, yesterday we talked about distraction, and today we say no. So if you say no, then you eliminate the distractions, because you just have to remember it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So, go out there and drain the banks.